Long before France, before Rome, before history as we know it, a royal bloodline from Troy survived hidden in plain sight. The Merovingians, Europe's mysterious kings, weren't just rulers, they were heirs of Priam, born of legends, carrying divine consciousness through the ages. What if the true story of Europe's kings is actually the story of Troy reborn? The origins of the Merovingians trace back to the epic line of Troy. Clodio, often called the founder of the Frankish dynasty, descended from Pharamond, son of Marcomer, whose lineage stretches to King Priam, the legendary ruler of Troy. Priam's father Laomedon, and before him Heracles himself, connect the Merovingians to the gods. Even the myths of sea beasts and miraculous births weren't fables. They encoded a sacred lineage, a symbol of divine kingship passing through the ages. Merovech, the namesake of the dynasty, was said to have been born from the sea. Viewed symbolically, this mirrors the sacred bloodline emerging from the ancient world into history, carrying the higher consciousness that defined the millennial reign. These kings didn't wear heavy crowns of gold, they wore the crown of Christ consciousness, ruling through divine authority and wisdom. Their wives, embodying the divine feminine, ensured that every child of this line maintained the spiritual frequency of the millennial age. Through the centuries, the Merovingians spread across Gaul, linking France, Normandy, and even sacred territories in what would later be called Europe. Their reign represents 1,000 years of peace, knowledge, and higher consciousness, an era erased and replaced with fabricated histories. When the so-called barbarians and later imperial powers seized Europe, they hid these connections, rewriting the lineage, suppressing the truth of Troy's living bloodline. Today, the Merovingians' legacy is hidden in plain sight in art, architecture, legends, and even the DNA of families that descend from this sacred line. The myth of Troy wasn't just a story of warriors and wars. It was the template for a millennial kingdom of consciousness, now obscured, waiting to be remembered. By tracing these lines, we see the hidden truth, that the kings of Europe were not merely rulers, they were living heirs of Troy, carrying a divine spark meant to awaken the world.